tell, I'm already squeaky. So I want to thank you all for joining us this morning. This is Translating Your Why into Your Goals, and basically a fabulous class about how it starts from inside and what that does and how Tupperware becomes a vehicle for making your inner drive and your desires, your core purpose for being here turn into something amazing. And I am so excited to have with me these two fabulous trainers. They are from the Rocket region. From Champion Enterprises, I'm very excited to introduce business leader Pam Cliff and director Tina Flower. And I'm just going to share with you from this morning their passion, their drive. You better be ready to write fast. I would highly suggest flipping on something to record on your phone, because these two ladies are going to be sharing a ton in a very short amount of time. So without further ado, I'm going to hit my little record, and I'm going to turn it over to you two. All right, Pam, please give it up for our fabulous trainers.
Okay, thank you. I want to tell you, I start every single Tupperware party by saying to you, my audience, my guest at my party today, hi, my name is Pam Clift, and I'm an executive business leader with Tupperware Home Parties, and with parties every night, I'm going to help you. I'm either going to help you with a new recipe, or I'm going to help you with a great idea, a new meal for your family, or I'm going to help you get some really great products at a really great price, or I'm going to help you start a small side business, a side hustle, something fun for you and your family. Bring in an extra $100 every single week or every single month, whatever you choose, or I'm going to help you develop a new career. A career making six figures. Whatever the case is, I'm here to help you. And the reason I do that, and the reason I'm so passionate about helping you right now, is because every time I help you, I have three fingers coming right back at me. When I help you, I will grow my family. I will help my family. And as a young mom, I looked at that as Ryan and Justin and Ashley. Those were my most important people in my life. When I started Tupperware 36 years ago, this is my 36th Jubilee. I have never missed a Jubilee. I never believed I'd be on the stage. I didn't have that dream or that goal. I never thought that could be me. I was very young. I was very insecure. I was very shy. But you know what? What I did was I came in because they told me if I come in and try out the business, I could keep the kit. And they told me that I could quit in 6 weeks. Well, I will tell you, I had a Tupperware party. I wanted everything in the book. I needed a way to create the finances, to create the money that was going to help sustain my new addiction. I wanted it all. And so when I got into Tupperware, I really got into leave. And then I realized I could sit on the floor, tell jokes, eat food, get paid. Whoa, maybe I'll stick around. And I will tell you that the other thing about me, brand new in Tupperware, is somebody said to me, if you could make a wish and your dreams would come true, what would it be? And I thought, well, that's very interesting. What if I did become successful in Tupperware? And I started to dream. And that what if became very important to me. What happens if you become a huge success in Tupperware? What if you're on the stage at Jubilee? What if you're on the stage at Leadership Conference as top 5 in the nation? What if you do make 6 figures? What would change in your world? Would you go somewhere else? Would you live somewhere else? Would you put braces on somebody's teeth? Would you put a play yard in the backyard? Would you buy bikes for the kids? Would you take a crazy, awesome vacation? What if money was unlimited? What if money were not the issue to stop you from your dreams and your favorite vacation? What if you could plan things and not worry about the finances? What if? I just want you to write it down. What if there were no reasons for money to stop you? I want to tell you the first step of getting what you want is deciding what you want. That's me. Yeah, 36 years ago. I was 23. I was so shy. And you know what I'm doing right there? I'm waiting on my mom to come and get me. And I had my husband take my picture, and I remember doing this. I said, take my picture. Because I thought, what if I am a success? I want a picture of my very first Tupperware party. I was waiting for my mom to come and bring me her car, because we had one car, and so he was already at work. And I was waiting for mom to come and give me her car so I could drive to my Tupperware party while she watched the kids. And I will tell you, Jimmy at work always scared me. He was a police officer. He worked 3 to 11, 11 7, 7 to 3, and he worked 3 side jobs. And those 3 side jobs were jobs that he was also carrying a gun and risking his life, but he was tired. because he'd already worked 8 hours. And so it always worried me. And I will tell you, he was my drive. I wanted him to be proud of me. I really, really wanted him to be proud of me, but I also knew that I had 2 little people that I loved dearly. And these little guys were my life. And I will tell you, I was a very young mom. You can see there, Ryan's 6 and I'm 23. Yeah, do the math. I was 18. And you know, there was a lot of people that thought I would never make it. And they thought Jim and I would never make it. We got married way too young. Yeah, how do you like me now? You know, those naysayers, you can't let them stop you. You can let them drive you, but you can never let them stop you. And I want to tell you, you need to motivate yourself. If you do not motivate yourself, you'll never, ever make it. And how do you motivate yourself? You have to find your why. What is your why? Well, the why is very easy to find if you do it right. Your why, you'll find your why by asking why. And when I was young and 23, my why, when somebody asked me what it was, is, well, I want to make 6 figures. Because I dreamed about everything I could do at 6 figures. And that girl that made 6 figures, I thought to myself, boy, if that was me, I would do this, I would do that. And it would be the solution. But why? Because if I did that, I could get a new home and I could save for the college fund. Because at that time in our lives, I could never imagine how we could ever pay for college. And I had friends that were saving money for college. I had friends that were buying houses because their parents gave them inheritance. My dad was a Baptist preacher. There's no money coming, okay? And my husband's family also. We're not getting inheritance. It's us or it's us, all right? And again, ask yourself why. Because I want to make sure that I take care of the situation, because you know what? I want Jimmy to be proud of me, but I also worry about Jimmy at work, carrying a gun, risking his life. And you know, the sad part about it is I can make the same amount of money by the hour in 2 hours going out and doing a Tupperware party as he did carrying a gun, being a police officer. That's sad. That's a whole nother conversation. We won't go there. But I will tell you, I like the fact that I make that much money, because I could afford to pay a babysitter if I had to, but I didn't choose to. A lot of times they were with mom. But again, why? Well, here it comes. If your why does not make you cry, it's not real. And the real why was because I couldn't fail. I didn't want to fail my husband. I didn't want to fail my children. I knew that I had 12 more years with Ryan before he was on his own and off to college. 12 years is not a very long time. And I had to make it happen in those 12 years. And I want to share something with you. That, to me, was my passion. That was my dream. I wanted to make an impact on my children's life. I wanted to be absolutely everything they needed. I wanted to create memories. I'm going to tell you something. You that have children, how many of you have children under 18? I want you to know that you don't get to pick the day they remember, but children will remember. How many of you remember a childhood memory? Did mom and dad pick that day? You don't get to pick the day they're going to remember, so you have to get up every day as this is the day they'll remember. And I've got to make it a great day. And you know, every single day can be created that way. And I want to tell you that Tupperware allowed me that. Because I could be the wife I wanted to be and the mom I always dreamed of being. But with another corporate job, I couldn't do that. I'd have to let somebody else create those memories. And Tupperware allowed me to do that. And that's why I'm so passionate. I want you to know that this could be your success story as well. And you know, I want to also let you know that when it comes to 5 o'clock in the morning, it's time to get out of bed, start your day. Let me tell you what's going to motivate you. Oh, I want to make 6 figures, because 6 figures I can pay the bills, buy a house, invest in college. Or will it motivate you to know that you've got 12 years left and you've got to make them count every single day, and today's the day that you might remember. And that drove me. That really drove me. And I will tell you, the biggest accomplishment of my life will not be the 6 figures. It won't be that I'm number 5 in North America. It will not be that I run a $4 million company. My biggest accomplishment is this. That is my pride and joy. That is my legacy. The fact that my husband is so very proud of me. When I married my husband, I will tell you, a wonderful, wonderful person, but I would get up in the morning, make his breakfast, make sure that when he come home, I would make sure that he had a dark room to sleep in, and so that he could rotate those hours. Let me tell you, my husband walks after me, takes care of me, loves me, he protects me. Why? Because he's proud of me and the success we have at Champion Enterprises. I want you to have that. Your husband absolutely adoring you not because of money, but because what you have developed in the legacy of your family. I want you to know that this little girl sitting on my husband's lap right there, that's Carson. She is 7 right here, and she says to me the other day, Anna, are you famous? I said, what? She goes, are you famous? I said, no. I said, well, kind of in Tupperware. I have one friend that called me Tupperware famous. And you know what? I want you to know that didn't come from Carson. It came from her parents. Because she gets her opinion of grandma from mom and dad. That's the legacy I want you to have, the pride I want you to have. It's not the money. It's what money does. It's not a love for money. It's what money does. And you know, as you develop your world, and as your world turns, your legacy may change. And this is my mom and dad. Told you daddy's Baptist preacher. For the last 10 years, my husband and I have taken absolutely all of their finances over. And as I have friends that say they have a beach house, they have this, I have a second home in West Virginia. 2 residents live there, mom and dad. You are? Parkersburg, West Virginia, mom and dad. Yesterday, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not real. I sold their house yesterday. We lost Daddy in September. Oh. And now I knew why. It's Mommy. I will take care of her. She will live in the best available presence, and she will want for nothing. Because their retirement was raising a daughter who loved unconditionally. That's their retirement. There's no retirement as a Baptist minister. The retirement is right here, and I knew that. And let me tell you something. I will be honest with you, and maybe it's not okay, but I'm going to say it right now. I use Tupperware. Tupperware is my tool. My passion is my family, my legacy. What will they think? How many of you have ever been working a show before and somebody walks up to you and says, yeah, my mom sold Tupperware, she had a company car. Yeah. How many of you had that happen? Yes. And they're so proud. I want you to know that my granddaughter will walk up to your booth someday and say, my grandma sold Tupperware. She was number 5 in the nation. She ran a $4 million company. That's where I'm going. That's my legacy. That's what I want. And I will tell you, the joy is also creating that legacy in my company. My team is so important to me. If you don't know me, then you don't know that. But I will tell you, I bleed for these people. I want them to have the joy that I have found in Tupperware, the financial freedom. My joy is helping you understand financial freedom is here. You have a soapbox, use it. You are here because God planted you here. Grow where you're planted. Use this business. Put your why into it and use it. And I will also tell you that when you find your why, and your why is big enough, you will never need to know how. How many of you thought you would come in today and find out how to get parties, how to recruit, how to do this, you don't need to learn that. You know that. I promise you, you know that. What you don't have is your why. When you find your why, the how-to appears. It just appears. You know what? Let me share to you a very wonderful person in my life. I love her dearly as a girlfriend and as a Tupperware champion, Gina Flower.
I sat across the kitchen table from my mom, having a very typical conversation, not unlike one I've had with her hundreds of times. Except this particular conversation, she was having a major struggle to come up with words. She did, that multiple times. It was really strange. Really, really strange. I can stand here and tell you multiple red flags that happened after that told my family something is seriously wrong with Mom. But we don't have enough time for that, and I do not have enough tissue for that. So instead, I will tell you, my mother was diagnosed with younger onset Alzheimer's at the age of 59, and she died at the age of 66. And you know what, guys? I'm Not okay with that. I'll never be okay with that. I hate Alzheimer's. Not only did my life change after I lost my mom, but my why changed after I lost my mom. You see, if you had met me 22 years ago when I started in Tupperware, and some of you have, I met you back then, you would know that my why back then were these three beautiful children. My why was to be the wife and the mother that God created me to be. These are my greatest blessings, these three children. And so back then, I needed to find a way to be that mom, to stay at home. I had this deep, deep desire to be at home raising them, and I needed to be able to do that. And you know what? My Tupperware business allowed me to do just that. This was my why. My Tupperware business was my how. My why has changed in a monumental way since then. It still has to do with family, but it's different. After losing my mother, I decided I need to fight back against Alzheimer's disease because I do not want my children and their children and generations after them to ever have to go through what I went through. So my why has changed, and my how changed a little bit too. You see, I decided I needed to make a difference and I needed to use my voice. And guys, I was so passionate about it, I actually went to work for the Alzheimer's Association. I had to make a difference, and that was the front line to do it. And so I went to work for them, and I was blessed enough to have a position as corporate relations manager for several years, going into companies, doing lunch and learns, very similar to an audience like this, sharing on many things about Alzheimer's, the 10 warning signs, how to age healthy, how to age healthier and have your brain be healthier as you're aging, just all kinds of topics that I could teach on. And I could tell you so many statistics, but the beautiful part of that was, what I love to do is to be up here sharing with you, and what I hate is Alzheimer's, and I have a passion to see the end of Alzheimer's. So when I married those two things, I can tell you I was more fulfilled than I ever was, ever in my life. And as you can see, fulfillment is deeper than happiness. It comes from what we do. Fulfillment comes from why we do it. I knew why I was doing what I was doing. And it appears when our job connects directly to our why. So, unfortunately, after several years in the position that I was in, we had a realignment of chapters all across the country, and many positions were being eliminated. And I kind of saw the writing on the wall, and I was afraid that probably what was going to happen is my position was going to be eliminated. And so I started my Tupperware business back part-time, knowing that if I did lose my job, I could build my business back so I would have something to fall back on in case it were to happen, and it did. In December, I was told that I would no longer have my position, and they offered me another position. However, the other position that they offered me, although it was a lateral move, it was not where I felt fulfilled. You know, I wasn't educating anymore. I wasn't sharing with people anymore. It was a much different position. And I thought, man, you know, I prayed about that, and I thought about the difference between how would I choose? Would I choose the Alzheimer's Association, or would I choose Tupperware? And it made so much sense to me that I could do things on my terms if I were to choose my Tupperware business as my how. And so that's what I ended up doing. And I have to tell you, suddenly I was working with no time clocks, no territories, no protocols, no rush hour traffic. Oh my gosh, that was the best. So I can tell you that it suddenly became an exciting, prospect for me that I could be doing what I am really passionate about doing, and doing it through my Tupperware business. I love to educate. I love to speak. I told you that. I want to see the end of Alzheimer's disease. So I've married those two together, guys. And that's how I became excited and energized and fulfilled and finding my why. So let's be clear. Your goal is not your why. Okay? It's not, I want to make $100,000, or I want to earn the next incentive trip, or I want to, whatever it is in the Tupperware business, I want the company car. If that's your goal, your why is something that is deeply, deeply ingrained inside of you. This is all deeply ingrained inside of me, I can tell you that. So what I want you to think about is, how can you formulate your why? We have a short amount of time, so I want to give you some questions that you can ask yourself. And these are going to help you find your why. What makes you come alive? So I want you to think about, what is it that you're super, super passionate about? When you figure out what you're really passionate about and you focus your attention on that, you will grow your impact and your influence in amazing ways. What are your innate strengths? Honestly, God created you with abilities and strengths and talents that are unique to you. You need to figure out what those are. I already know that one of my strengths and what I love to do is being up here and educating and teaching. That's inside of me. That's in my DNA, and it always has been. So you need to figure out, what are your strengths? And then what happens is, when your natural talent and your skills meet personal passion, oh my goodness, you become more productive. You add more value. You enjoy a greater sense of joy and fulfillment. Just like I said, I can tell you when that fulfillment level for me was the highest it could ever be. And then the third question is, where do you add the greatest value? And so when you're thinking about adding value, think of it as solving a problem. Ask yourself, what problems you really enjoy solving? Or what problems you feel passionate about trying to solve? So for me, the problem is, there's no cure for Alzheimer's. And I'm not okay with that. And so we need to raise more funds for research so we can find a cure. So that's my problem. I know I can't single-handedly, make that change, but I certainly can make a big difference and a big impact, and I plan to do that. Have you ever heard, and then the fourth question, how do you measure your life? So have you ever heard the saying, people who don't stand for something will fall for anything? Have you ever heard that? Yeah. So this is where you figure out, what do you stand for? What do you, personally, what do you stand for? Take that, incorporate that into your life, into your business. Guys, it's really important that the one person who believes in your why, it's not your spouse, it's not your kids, it's not your business, your upline director, it's you. You have to believe your why is important and meaningful. I know that mine is. You figure out yours. You have to believe that you must believe you know how to achieve your goals through your plans and strategies. I know what I have to do to be able to fulfill my why. You must believe that you can execute the plans and strategies to achieve your goal. So for me, the plans and strategies were, I need to use my Tupperware business, reach out to companies, reach out to individuals, and offer to partner with them to raise funds for the Alzheimer's Association. If they want to raise funds for another charity, that's okay. But you better believe I'm always asking them to raise funds for the Alzheimer's Association first. And I always will. I help companies or families who do the walk team. So if you know anything about the Alzheimer's Association, you know they do a walk every fall, and there are lots of families trying to raise funds. So I will help them do that as well. That's just another tangible way that I can do that. And then I also share at my parties that dating a fundraiser is a great way to give back if you've been touched. And I tell you, I say that at my parties because I truly know that there are many, many people being touched by this disease. And there's a really good chance they're at my parties. I don't know if you know this, but every 65 seconds someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And more people die. It's the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. More people die from Alzheimer's than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. A lot of people don't know that. I can tell you a lot of facts and figures because I've done it for so long, and it's, not going away, unfortunately, anytime soon. But here's the thing. I'm being touched by this disease, and I want to help others who are being touched by this disease. And so I can do that through my Tupperware business. Tupperware is my tool. And seeing the end of Alzheimer's is my why. So maybe after hearing my story, you might be able to relate to maybe another cause. Maybe it's breast cancer, maybe it's autism awareness, whatever it is. What we want you to do is to think about tangible ways that you can incorporate that into your business. Before I do that, I just would love to see a show of hands in this room. How many people have been touched by Alzheimer's? Look around, keep your hands up and look around the room.
Wow.
Guys, it's a global epidemic. And I'm just gonna really quick tell you a little. I have information over here I would love to share with you if you want to pick it up about the Alzheimer's Association and how they can help you free of charge. So that's just a little plug for them. So here's some tangible ways. If you're a consultant in the room, if you've never ever done a fundraiser, I seriously really plead with you to figure out how the fundraiser works. Work with your manager, your upline director, your business leader, and really take that on as an option that you can offer at your parties and to everyone that you're talking to. It's another way that you can help. And if you're a manager in the room, and as a manager, set on your team that you guys could be reaching out to the community and finding people that need your help. Need your help in partnering with the fundraiser. So I would suggest that as a manager, you suggest that to your team. And then what I'm most excited about is, as a director or above, one of the things that we are able to do, 5 years ago, when I was with the Alzheimer's Association, I called Pam and I said, we're doing a fundraiser for the longest day. It's on the summer solstice every year. And I said, it was Tupperware, and I said, I would love to have Champion Enterprises be a part of that. Would you be interested? I couldn't even get the rest of the words out. She was like, yes, let's talk. She was so on board with that. And they had already been doing fundraising for other charities, but this was important to me, and she knew that, and I knew that it was important to her as well, because we were both touched by that. They've been doing that fundraiser annually ever since. And Pam can share that with you if you want to know how do you go about bringing in a fundraiser. Use your studio if you have one. Reach out to the community. Get people involved to come in. There's lots of ways that you can do that. But guys, it's kind of one of those tangible, hands-on ways that you can make a difference. So whatever it is that you're passionate about, you can't figure out your why in this 30 minutes that we've been talking. It's not going to happen that. Maybe it will, but typically it doesn't, because you really gotta think about it, and it's deep down in here. And like Julie has said before, it's something that's been inside of you since you were a kid. So you need to figure out what that is. Use those questions that we shared with you. But I will tell you, when you do figure it out, and you use that passion, and you marry that to your business, you, just like me and just like Pam, will have unstoppable motivation. I promise you. So good luck, and thank you.
Champions Do Charity. Now that is, it's actually from Ohio State. It's on their big screen. Champions Do Charity, Ohio State Champions. I'm like, oh yeah, we do. And I'm taking that. Thank you to Ohio State. And so Champions Do Charity, we have Champions for Charity shirts that we actually wear. And we really, really look for opportunities to do charity. And so 3 times a year we do big charity events as a group. And I really want to talk to you, talk to your business leader, organize this together, because one can only do so little, but all together you can do so much. And if everybody across the world would do this, and I mean the world, and we'd all partner together and do charities like this, we could make a huge impact. In the last 5 years, Champion has given over $15,000 to ALZ. We've given over $20,000 to Bowls for Boobies, or Tupperware for Tatas, whatever you want to call it. And I love charity. And so coming together, making a great big huge company party where you're going to rent a hall or you use your studio. In the last few years, 2 years, we've used the studio, but right before that, we were using a hall that we could get. And the raffle tickets, everything gets donated. The directors donate product and gift baskets. We literally sold gift basket tickets for 3 weeks before the event. Before we walked in the door, we already had raised over $1,500. And that's exciting. On the basket sales, people buy more basket tickets that night. You do your demonstration. Of course, the opportunity is offered. Never feel guilty about using, helping a charity and growing your business at the same time. Because if you do feel guilty about that, guess what that is? In my world, that's the devil stopping you from helping others. And that is a poison snake. You get away from that. You do not embrace that. You do not entertain that. Because that will keep you from doing a charity. Because you're thinking that people will think, so what people think? So what? You're out there for the right cause. You're going to do a charity. You're going to raise funds. You're going to be able to donate funds to, and the charity that we use for the Bowls for Boobies is Breast Cancer Charities of America, and they give to those suffering. And so a young mom that's all of a sudden got breast cancer, can't make her house payment, or can't get by her kids' school supplies, things like that, that money goes directly to her to help her get through the situation that she's in until she can heal and be well again, and then she'll be one that's raising funds because you're affected by it. You become passionate about it, and so yes, I'm passionate about the breast cancer charities because of my sweet sister who suffered from breast cancer, my grandmother, and of course my father with ALZ. And then we look for the third charity every single year, at least 3 charities that we do. I really encourage you to come together as a team. You will build your team. People want to be part of a company that does something bigger than themselves. And so it will build your team, and it feels really good too, to help the charities and help to organize funds like that. Okay.
All right. So again, let's look. We have, really quick. We have a couple minutes because I didn't want to stop them. Any quick questions for Q&A? I know you've been writing and recording. Good job on the recording. I saw the phones go up. Good? All right. So once again, thank you again, Champion Enterprises, Pam Cliff, Gina